Hey guys, your hardware captain coming back with a quick public service announcement. Here in New England, the leaves are starting to fall, and that's the time to get your snowblower stuff ready to go. Please don't wait until the first snowstorm gets here. Panic, try to get it running only to find out that you need to order parts. Now's the time when the weather's still nice to get everything ready to go for the season. If you have a single stage ego like this one here, you want to make sure that not only does it run, not only do the auger spin, but you want to take a look at these pads. So in the previous season, if it wasn't pulling up as much snow as it was before, these pads here may be worn out. Now they are reversible, so you can flip them over when the one side gets worn, but if they start showing signs of dry rot, you can order replacements. And let me show you what those look like. Now here you can see what the pads are supposed to look like. They are supposed to come down past the metal piece by a little over 1/4 inch, about 5/16 of an inch. They're not supposed to look totally frayed, and they're supposed to be nice and solid. So if yours don't look like this and they are in still good shape, you can loosen up these 2 screws, flip over the rubber pad, and continue use. If they're all dry rotted out or cracked on both sides, just remove both of the screws and put a new one of these in. If you need to order some of these for yourself, I'll put the link in the description below. Now, if you have one of these 2-stage snowblowers, you're going to do a little bit more prep work. You're going to make sure that you put your batteries in, make sure the augers are spinning, make sure the drive is working, but you also want to make sure that your shear pins are in place and that these don't move freely, because the shear pins should be stopping it from moving until you actually apply power. You also want to make sure that the shoes are set correctly.
Oh my God, shoes.
Once again, these shoes are reversible. So if you see one side all worn down, take out the nuts and flip the shoe over and use the other side. These ones aren't in too bad of shape, but you do have to make sure that they're set to the proper height. To do that, if you take a yardstick or 2 quarters and put them right under the middle, it'll lift it up just enough where it won't be scraping along the ground, but give yourself a little bit of clearance. So once you do that, find a nice level ground, loosen up both of the nuts, and then on the other side, do the same thing. Lower the shoes until they make contact with the ground, tighten up both nuts on each side, and once you're done, remove your yardstick and make sure that there's no rock in the body. It should be nice and solid. Also remember that most of these Ego 2 stages come with extra shear pins mounted right on top, so if you do bust one, you got 2 ready to go.
Can you repeat the part of the stuff where you said all about the things? The thing?
Last but not least, for your gas-powered 2-stage snowblowers, you're going to do a couple of the same things as the Ego 2 stage, but a few more prep steps. You want to make sure that your gas is fresh. If it's from last season, make sure you have stabilizer in it, or try to empty it out and put in fresh fuel. You want to make sure that it starts before the season gets here. So make sure you give it a pull to get it going, or plug it in and use the electric start. On this one here, you also want to check the shear pins. These guys should not move freely. You should see your shear pins right inside. And if not, you got to replace them before the snow flies. These guys also have reversible shoes. You want to set it the same way with the yardstick under the middle, loosen up the 2 nuts, drop it to the floor, and make sure that they're nice and level. If one side is totally worn out and you don't see any of this ridge, loosen the 2 nuts over, pull off the shoe, flip it over, put it back on, lower it to the ground to make sure it's ready to go for the season. For the gas ones, you want to change your oil once a season. Even if you really don't use it much for the previous season, the oil can still start to separate as it gets older. So you're better off just replacing it every season. You have your drain bolt right here. You pull that right off. The oil will drain out. What I usually do is remove this tire so that the whole thing shifts down, put a bucket under here, and let the oil drain out. You have your dipstick and fill tube right here for the oil. You want to use 5W30. If you use the wrong oil, it could be too thick or too lean. 5W30, great for the winter. Lastly, check and change your spark plug if needed. Just pull out this boot here, you'll get to the spark plug itself. Take that out, take a look. If it's really worn, black, burnt, go ahead and replace it. If you replace it the previous year and you really didn't use it much, it can probably go another season, but that's one of the last things I check to make sure that it's ready to go for the new snow to come down. Once you do all this stuff, you should be ready for that white stuff to start flying.
Yeah!
See you in the next one.